This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Welcome in, our listeners. Jumping on now at WAAF, Boston's rock station.
Wicked.
Also, 105.7 The X Rock in Peoria, Illinois. And our friends at Rock 103 in beautiful Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hello, Fort Bragg. Big show for you today. Who Sucks Less coming up? What you don't need to know, the DNA edition. Ladies, you're going to want to stay tuned for this. This is some new, scientifically proven, very disturbing news for you as far as your brain and some of the remnants that exist up in there. So that's coming up.
You're not going to be happy
With what you don't need to know. Now, our question, why was it your worst day at work? Maybe you have not heard. Maybe you have heard. A woman furiously crapped all over the floor at Tim Hortons in British Columbia. She was getting into an argument with a young gentleman who was working behind the counter. Whatever that was, she was not having any of it. She backed up, dropped her pants, crapped on the floor, picked it up, threw it at the dude, wiped herself, threw more stuff, continued to do that. And we also have the story of the pilot that was sucked out of an airplane.
You know, you bring up the woman that pooped, all right? And we agreed, because again, this is all just based on a video that's now making the round, and it's closed-circuit video from Tim Hortons. There's no audio. But everyone agrees that whatever the situation was, this dude, this kid working behind the counter probably had his worst day, because no one should work a job where you get turds thrown at you. So this comment comes in and says, every day at my job is like the guy who had poop thrown at him. That's the first sentence.
How can that be?
I've seen/cleaned up more human poop and pee than should be possible for working at a grocery store.
Oh no, where I buy my food?
That's his point, man.
What do you mean?
That's so uncool.
No.
Shouldn't that just be kind of agreed among all people that, like, hey, man, if you're going to poop indoors on the floor in a public place, can it not be around the food? So, like, Tim Hortons, like, not cool.
But what do we always say about grocery store bathrooms?
They're the worst.
That is a strange bathroom, man.
They're
It's a strange
bad.
place.
Yeah, but she hurls that poop behind the counter. There's trays and donuts and bagels back there.
That's different. I'm just saying, this doesn't shock me at the supermarket.
But they're in the bathroom. Like, right, the grocery store bathroom. If all of the general public bathrooms, a gas station is generally what you expect.
Oh,
right?
it's horrible.
But they're rarely worse than you think. But a grocery store, man, it doesn't seem right because everything else is clean. They spritz the vegetables. There's always a couple of people mopping. There's people stocking. And you walk into the bathroom, and it's like no one has been in there since 1920 except squatters and crackheads.
Yes.
And as soon as you open the door, there's the lettuce again with the gentle tss. And I'm like, man, have you seen that bathroom? Have you seen this? Is this from the same water source? There is pee in a toilet from the 1900s, man. Like someone in 1994 peed in a toilet, didn't flush, and no one since then has bothered to do the same. And there's always a mop bucket in there. And I'm thinking, what do you have to do to use this? You know what I mean? Like, it's right here. Look at the bathroom. It's not a decoration, man. You can use this.
You ever
thing.
seen somebody from the store? Like one time I saw the butcher come out. In his defense.
Of the bathroom.
Yeah.
The
He
butcher.
was washing his hands. I mean, he was like drying his hands still. But it was just like, oh man, you're obviously the butcher. Like you're wearing the outfit. There's blood on it.
I mean, like, we know butchers poop, man. I don't know.
Everybody poops.
Right. But, like, give those employees their own bathroom, man. You're right. Somehow to see your butcher. Like,
Well, dude, you worked in restaurants.
Yeah.
If you see your waiter coming out of the bathroom, you're like, all right.
Not so
And
bad.
it has nothing to do with them, but when you see the chef or the cook coming out of the bathroom, you're like, uh-oh.
no, little known cook trick.
You know the
a
worst
lot of
it
times
is?
we walk out of the bathroom, just rub our hands together, but we didn't wash them.
Right.
We just want you to think we did.
This is the worst one when you see it happen.
Oh,
This is the worst. And I'm not going to throw it under the bus. I have been there for this one, and I just like went, I'll have a half a meatball on my I mean,
what do you touch the least?
I don't know. Can you spoon the balls out of the thing so you don't touch my sandwich? No, lettuce. No.
Please.
No.
That's a lot of grabbing.
You don't even have to cut
You
it.
can shake some Parmesan on there. That's about it. Don't touch it.
Don't even cut
Don't
it,
touch
man.
it.
Don't even cut it.
Why was it your worst day at work?
I'll bag it.
844-999-OLA.
I'm not being weird, man.
No cheese.
Nothing.
Don't touch that.
The spoon meatball.
And fold it up.
Push it with the spoon.
Yeah.
Hello, Tyler. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
What's cracking, fellas?
Oh, you know.
All right, so about 25 years ago, so we're going way back, one of my first jobs at Red Robin in Tacoma, I was a dishwasher. Suited me just fine. I'd get super blazed before work, walk in, and just get to scrubbing for hours.
Hey, man, my first job was a dishwasher at Chi-Chi's. Exact same scenario. Just get high and scrub.
At the very original Red Robin location, when you walked in there was a mural on a barn kind of wall of the Red Robin, and Red Robin had a big fat blunt in his hand, and his eyes were blurry, and you could still look up the old picture of that original Red Robin. I'm sure it's online somewhere, but this bird is absolutely baked. And that was the whole idea, like, you're stoned, come get a big, fat, delicious hamburger.
And now I take my kids and they get balloons.
With endless fries.
Before they turned it into a family restaurant, the original location was a biker bar. Right. Legit, they sold weed out of the bar.
Exactly. Down below near the canal.
Hence, bottomless fries.
Man, you need to get high and get a big, fat cheeseburger.
I'm here for extra
There's
fries.
nothing wrong with this business model. You can have as many fries as you want.
We get it.
So early in the morning, right, I'm washing my dishes, getting through with my shift. It's about noon, 1 o'clock, and I'm just getting ready to get off. And the prep cook calls in sick for the day. So they say, hey, kid, you want to move up on the line? I said, not really. But they said, well, you don't really have a choice at this point.
Not really. Well, then why did you ask me? Then why did you ask me? Why didn't you just tell me then? You know what I mean? Like,
you got a new job today.
Exactly.
So mind you, when you're a young kid washing dishes, they give you all you could drink soda, right?
Sure.
So I'm in the back blaze, and I'm pounding Orange Crush all
My man, hold on. That was a high five.
Just pounding Orange Crush by the big gulpful, right? So anyway, they call me up on the line for this second shift that I did not volunteer for. And so when I say, I think we can all agree that everyone has gambled on a fart at some point and lost.
Sure. That's why it's called gambling.
So when I was drinking this Orange Crush all through my first shift, all of a sudden I felt my socks fill up on the line. So I excused myself from my Mexican hombres on the line and ran to the bathroom to see how bad it was. Long story short, let's just say I drove home with tie-dyed socks.
Did you have to leave immediately, I'm guessing?
I left immediately. I threw my pants in the dumpster on the way out the door, and I quit my job.
Oh, you quit? Because of a fart gone wrong.
Well, no, I didn't want to be known as the Esser.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's fair.
I mean, hell.
So everybody knew that you asked yourself on the line. I mean,
I left the trail at the door.
Oh, no. Oh, you told them you didn't want to work the line.
So anyways, man, I retired. I'm done with that.
What do you do now for a living?
I'm a delivery driver with the homie Pogie.
Okay, all right.
Damn, man. I quit my job. I didn't want to be known as the Esser.
Good times. Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA.
It's odd how life works, man. If someone could come back, right, you get the opportunity to visit your past self, and you let them know one thing.
Well,
your future self shows up and says, hey, man, don't be known as the Esser, and then they disappear.
And that's the thing. That's like Back to the Future or whatever, like a time machine, man. Like if he would go back in time and not fart, like then he could see that maybe
that's
like,
one thing
he
would
have like been moved up to manager and then assistant.
He's
manager.
A chef,
and next thing you know, like he's got like 3 Red Robins and
right.
He lives on like a house in the lake and he's got like a hot wife and a pool and it all started just because he
didn't gamble. That's why it's gambling, Miles. He could have had all of that.
One fart changed everything. It could be a franchisee at Red Robin.
We know this to be true of you now. The fact that you gambled and lost, that means if you didn't, right, you're a millionaire.
Worked his way into being a millionaire. Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA.
Boy, he really blew his shot.
He really did.
Yeah. Hello, Aoki. Welcome to the men's room.
Oh, hey, how you doing, guys?
Hola. Hey, man, did I get your name right?
No, it's Kaoki.
Kaoki. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Hawaiian name. Hey, anyway, so I got to tell you a story about my friend Mike. Mike and I have worked in Afghanistan for several years together for the U.S. Embassy as protectors for the ambassador. And in the intricacies of this job, we spend a lot of time sitting around talking about whatever, and always the worst day comes up.
Okay.
And so he was telling me a story about during the inauguration when Donald Trump got inaugurated, he was protecting Anderson Cooper from CNN.
Yeah.
And in his duties during the inauguration and all the festivities that were going on, he's got guns and kit and all this stuff on with a giant black jacket over it, so it looked like a suit. And as he was standing in front of Anderson Cooper, some people were yelling at him, as you can imagine they were because of the CNN thing.
Sure.
And he had a specific person yell at Anderson, turned his way, and got hit in the face with a blue dildo.
Oh!
And
Oh, that was meant for Anderson.
oh, yeah, no, but it
Did
wasn't
Anderson
like,
say, thank you, or, hey, man, you should have ducked and let me take that?
dude, seriously. He didn't only just tell me this, but then whipped out his picture and whipped out his phone and showed me a picture of it, and it was not dry, nor was it only rubber. So it was one of those rabbit ones with a battery back on it, and he said it really hurt when it hit him in the head.
I bet it did.
And it left an imprint on his head because it has covered in Vaseline or whatever other kind of lube.
Oh, they lubed it up before they threw it.
Did you hope that was
you-
Vaseline? I
and
mean,
you-
it's a vibrator.
And you hope also that Anderson Cooper thanks him, right? At the end of the day?
Well, dude, it was funny. I've laughed about that for forever.
Think
Every
about
time
what
I
you
think about
do.
him, I think about that.
You can retire, either say, hey, man, I took a bullet for the president, or, oh, me? Yeah, I took a dildo for Anderson Cooper.
For Gloria
man.
Vanderbilt's son, the Gene lady, yeah. That's what I did.
I got hit in the face with a dildo for him.
Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA. Hold the line, more your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, we're getting a little bit more information here on the woman in Canada that went into the Tim Hortons and threw the crap at a few employees. The thing that amazed us when we first saw the video is you can't understand what she is arguing with the Tim Hortons employee. They're going back and forth, and you see this woman is obviously infuriated, and it continues 20, 30 seconds on, and then in the video you see this woman, and she decides to either take off her skirt or drop her pants, whatever. She literally backs up to the wall in the Tim Hortons and takes a crap on the floor. Instantly picks it up and throws it at the employee. I'm assuming if she didn't hit him, it went back onto the donuts and the delicious
Right.
Tim's bits or whatever they call those things. Oh, that would have been horrible to see those donuts ruined. Anyway,
I wonder if they were arguing like she wanted to use the bathroom but had to buy something first.
So I don't know.
Wouldn't that be I just need to use your bathroom. I'm sorry, ma'am. It's our policy. I can't let you use the bathroom unless you buy something here.
Look, we could in 2.5 hours. I looked. Or 3 hours. We could be at that Tim Hortons. The only problem is there's 14 Tim Hortons in that little town.
Okay,
so we'd have a hard time finding it. Either way, though, this email
Is
goes
this
to
Tim Hortons where people throw poop?
Yes, exactly.
Selfie.
I want to go. I'm here.
This is the floor.
So we were saying,
duck lips.
Like if
Are you the dude? Did she throw it at you?
Dude, oh no way!
I gotta get a picture with you, ma'am.
This is the dude that got crap thrown at him.
Nobody will believe me.
You're a superstar.
Yes, exactly.
Look at that. He's touching my donut with his bare hands.
Because there's so many questions. Did the poop hit you? Like,
right.
we don't know
because it's off camera.
Okay, where did it go? Did it go onto Did it go onto the donuts?
Did you get it all?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you comfortable that you got it all?
And by the way, man, let me get a dozen those chocolate ones right there. But so we're saying that what's more amazing than anything is that she could just get so angry and poop on command.
I'm telling you, there's got to be a trigger in the human brain where
we were like,
you get so angry, you can just make yourself poop.
And that's the thing. We said, how did she just do that so quickly? And so Dom sends us in an email and says a little more info on the lady pooper. The reason why she essed on the floor is because the guy she was fighting with would not let her use the bathroom. And that's why she had one in the chamber and was so ready to go.
Okay.
So if that's the truth, that makes a lot more sense. She had one
to go to the bathroom.
She had one in the chamber.
And the dude wouldn't let her go to the bathroom.
What a horrible day. I mean, you have to close down. Yeah, I'm assuming you got to close down the Tim Hortons, right?
Yes. Right?
No.
What?
It was one poop. She threw it at him.
Dude, you can't,
but
man. I'm sure there's a health regulation
as
about
you
that,
said, on
too.
the other side, people are enjoying their meals. They didn't see it.
Are they now? But are they enjoying it? Maybe they were before that. But
are you still?
After she throws the poop, eventually that's going to quaff over to you. The smell is that the word we use? Quaff.
I think quaff is official.
Is that with a T at the end? Quaff or quaffed?
I think it says quaff.
Is it quaff? It will quaff over. I think.
Either way, you got to shut down, man. You can't say, like, hey, maybe you saw the video like 3 hours ago, this woman threw a turd, and it landed somewhere in the back where our donuts are. We assure you.
And then the poop was on the counter.
All right, hang on. Now, if poo hit food, I can see you shutting down. But if it just hit him in the floor, I say you stay open.
That's what we need, more angles on the camera to see where did it hit the kid.
I'm just picturing myself being in a bar. I'm halfway through my chicken wings, and somebody throws poop at the bartender.
Now,
like, I'm staying in that bar.
This does not look like a visible person who would pull off such a thing either. I mean, from the outside looking in, this looks like someone who is just, I don't know.
She said she needed to go to the bathroom. We figured that much out.
Like, she looks like, she's a middle-aged woman who probably, is married and has kids and volunteers someplace. I mean, that's what she looks like.
You know what? Listen, I want to apologize to the listeners. The comments have come in earlier. People were very upset. Apparently, we ruined Jell-O for people.
All right.
We did more damage than Bill Cosby with Jell-O.
Well, Jell-O, whatever.
Chocolate donuts are now not something people love so much.
Well, then get a French cooler, whatever you call it. Color.
Either way, you got to shut down for the day. But so honestly, it was about the fact she needed to use the bathroom.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's the whole, hey, you got to buy something policy, but whatever. So I wonder if they changed their policy, though.
Well,
right? I mean, look what she did, right? I understand you want people to buy something.
Starbucks is going, that's why we
here's-
did what we did, see?
I don't know that it's necessarily you want people to buy something. I think it's just a way to keep people from, like, shooting up in your bathroom.
That is exactly what it's about. But that's why you say, hey, if you're not going to buy something, right? Mm-hmm. So even if you're going to shoot up, you got to buy something, but our eyes on you. We know you're in there. I get it. But do you change your policy? Because, look, most people are not going to do what she does. But, like, I guess even someone who looks normal, because, Miles, like you say, when you look at this video, there's no outward sign that she would do this.
No,
she does not look like the type of person
you see coming. No. The whole thing is tremendous.
Unexpected.
I mean, has she? I guess they said that she has been identified, and they're determining what the charges are going to be. So they figured out who this was.
But understand, she didn't just poop on the floor because you wouldn't let her use the bathroom, right?
All right.
She then picked it up and threw it at you.
Okay, so I'm the officer, all right?
Okay.
I go and I watch this, and I go, oh, God. And they say, and someone says, we know who this is. This is such and such.
That's Sheila.
Now, I got to go to her house, all right? I got to knock on the door.
Yeah.
And what are you expecting? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you got a spit mask ready to put over her head? Like, what possibly, like, how do you got to be prepared to talk to this craziness? You know what I'm saying? Because,
that's true.
Golly.
I'm turning my body camera on real quick.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah. Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Austin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How y'all doing?
Doing great, man.
Nice. Well, I got a story for you. I was about 21, so it was like 8 or 9 years ago, and I was a server at a hotel on First Avenue, downtown Seattle, and I had the patio. I'd be out there all day from 11 to 11, and it was some crazy hot Seattle day. The heat was radiating off First Avenue. I got black bistro on, black pants, black shirt buttoned up, black socks, all the stuff. So I'm hot. I'm running around in circles, 12-hour shift. Anyway, so I'd unzip my zipper to get a little bit of air because you get the swamp down there pretty bad. And
that's right. The people bringing you the food also need to aerate the snake.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah. I gotta cool off the beanbag.
yeah. You know, you do what you got to do. But again, I had this big bistro apron that goes all around and down, and I thought I was safe. Anyway, so I'm running in and out. And I got this table, these 4 gals, they're probably in their 30s, really, really pretty. And I just sold my bottle of Prosecco, and I was just dropping some food on the table. And so I dropped a tuna poke dish, and I got a little bit of avocado on my thumb. And so I go to turn around to go get more food, and they're like, oh, wait, we have questions, this and that. So, of course, you know, the move is to kind of wipe under the apron. So I had my hands under the apron, kind of wiping my thumb off while I was talking to them, bent over. And I'm very engaged in my job, and they're asking me, if I have suggestions on this and that. And so I remember I answered a question, and I just kind of lift my hands up, and I lift up because I'm thinking, talking to them, and I fully expose my penis to them.
Oh!
It came out of the hole. And so I fully exposed myself, and it's like 4 Mississippis because I'm like talking and I'm like looking up and and I look and I can kind of feel the air, and I look down and I look at them looking at me, and I look down,
and you're just dong out.
Yeah, my dong is like 4 inches away from this girl's hand.
Oh, no.
The thing is, they were cool with it. They were.
They were. Sure, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Did you get a big tip?
Well, what do they say? I mean, did everyone just ignore it or what?
No, they kind of laughed and did the whole.
What did they order?
Thing and,
what did they order after that?
What did I get? I can't remember, man. It's too much. It's too much at once.
Okay.
For that, everything that was happening. But the lesbian couple to my right, they weren't very impressed, and so I had to run over there.
My clitoris is bigger than that.
Yeah, they both look like Mr. Rogers. They're pissed, and so I'm like talking, and they're like, don't touch me, don't touch the table, all this stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and so I talked it out, and they wanted to talk to the manager, but I talked him off the quip. I was just employee of the month that month too. So
I bet you were. So you were just too confident. Cocky, so to speak.
I went in cocky.
Yeah, exactly right. Good call.
So did your manager ever find out?
No one find out. I talked the ladies down. They just made the deal that I wasn't allowed to touch anything on the table.
All right, that's fair.
Run the food to the host and tell the host to run the food out to them, and I made it work, and no one found out. But it's.
Wait, I mean, the host didn't ask why. Like, why wouldn't you just deliver the food? What do you say?
Yeah, I just say trust the process at this point. Right. I think I ended up telling everyone, later that day, but it was pretty hardcore at the time.
Are you a grower or a shower?
I'm a little bit of both.
All right. Well, I just want to make sure,
what do you do?
Because if you're going to show it to 4 women who are sitting down, you'd like to get their best side, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it was hot, man. I was hanging low.
All right.
What do you do for a living now?
I now run 4 restaurants.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Is one of the restaurants the one where you were flashing penis?
Have we eaten there? I bet we've eaten there. I bet one of us has eaten one of them.
Also, I gotta ask: is unzipping just your fly underneath the front apron? Like, is it going to provide comfort?
Have you ever heard of this before?
No, man. And listen,
you're in New Orleans.
I worked in restaurants for
hot places.
Some of the hottest places I've ever worked, and I've never. I've seen people dump ice down the front, all that kind of thing, but I've never neither cook nor dishwasher nor waitstaff saying,
"What do they call that bib? The coin purse thing?
I mean, you ever just unzip your pants, walk around and air out the swampy area? I've never heard of that, man.
No,
I like your style though.
I like the food. It's salty.
But now I'm thinking to myself, have I ever sat there and ordered food from a man whose penis was out of his pants?
No.
I just said no because the apron was there.
I don't think I've ever eaten with a dong.
Yeah, if you've ever gone to like an expensive sushi place, like they're always in black. Like easily could be those people are walking around.
That's something to keep our eye on. The more black they're wearing, the more likely the waiter's penis is out when you order food.
I think he was keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA.
But we'd be the creepy guys that we walked in and we're like, hey, before you take our order, lift up the apron.
Right.
Yeah. I would be like on Yelp every 10 minutes. You know what I mean? After that, like, God, please don't post this. Please don't post this. Please don't post this. Bless you.
Bless you. Hello, Henry. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores!
Liquor and whores.
How's it going, fellas?
Doing well, sir.
I'm going to top your poop story. You guys ready for this?
Oh,
Yep.
yay.
Bring it.
So, many years ago, I was a custody officer in a local jail, and we brought a guy back from Western State Hospital for some local charges. You guys know what Western State Hospital is?
Mental institution.
Yeah, exactly. So they bring this guy, we bring him right back to a segregation room. So get the door shut. He walks inside with his mohawk. He turns and looks at us, takes a giant crap in his hand, takes a huge bite, and then he writes his name on the wall in cursive.
What was his name?
I do not remember. It didn't matter. His penmanship was outstanding.
I was
Really?
going to ask, if you could write your name in turd, it's not the first time you've done it, right? There's no way. If this were a game show and they said, listen, for our final prize, the person with the best, you will defecate in your own hand. You're going to write your name on the wall. Our audience will be the judge. I'm saying if it looks good, you've done it more than
Did
once.
he use it like sidewalk chalk? Is that what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so. I don't know. There's stuff you can't see, and that was one of them.
So
I've got many other stories.
But wait. What's the rest of the process? So I bring this guy in. He eats part of a turd and writes his name. It's like, all right, well, what's the next time I have to interact with him?
His name is Carl.
Like, what's the next thing?
Well, dude, I don't even know. We all just kind of you see so many things working in that kind of work. You just kind of look at each other and shrug your shoulders and go, eh.
Okay, but how do you? Is there a name for his condition?
What do you diagnose there?
Right, like what is that?
Paints with poop.
Right.
What is that called?
Like, what are symptoms include? Eating on feces and writing a name on the wall.
It's a fetish that.
Let's just say we didn't have to take him any lunch later.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah,
man.
well, I mean, not well. He still needs his tools.
How about that for a side effect on one of those late night? Does this side effects include low occurrence of stroke? Some people may experience heart palpitations
and
occasionally eating own feces and writing name on wall.
And poop artists. Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Nick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, I'm an elevator mechanic by trade, an apprentice elevator mechanic by trade. And my worst day, I ended up getting shocked 5 times and fracturing my elbow while I took a chip off of it. First time I got shocked, I was working in the modernization department. That's where we tear out old elevators and throw in a new one. And we're redoing the lighting in there. And all the old lighting used to be this 277-volt ballasted fixtures. They made it an odd voltage so that way people, when they're building the buildings, wouldn't steal it for their own home stuff. But, and if you get shocked, it freaking hurts. And so I'm standing on a bucket, and I'm doing these little wire nuts on it, and I undo it, and the hot then hits against my finger. My other hand was holding on to the metal tubing, the EMT that it was on. I just got blasted. And, man, I've been...
he's electrocuted again. Oh, no, he died.
That weird
lost
about
him.
it.
Ah.
Yeah, man, I want time like that. You shot.
We lost him.
And the call's gone. All right.
Unbelievable. Right there on the air. Live. Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Wes. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Yeah, this was my first job out of high school, and it was a supply company, and there happened to be one of the employees. She took the bank deposit after a Friday night shift, and instead of taking it to the bank, she kept the cash and threw all the checks into a dumpster at a local restaurant. It happened to be like the biggest restaurant in town. And anyway, Monday morning, we're all standing around wondering, the boss comes in, and first thing he does is he points at me and he's like, "Hey, I got a job for you."
Nice.
Puts me in coveralls, hands me a set of gloves, hop in this dumpster and start looking for checks.
Did you find any?
Nope, never found anything.
Okay.
What did you find in the dumpster?
Yeah.
Well, it was the biggest restaurant in town. There was a lot of liquor bottles. It just garbage. I mean, it was nasty. Being 19 years old, just like, if this is what employment's going to be like, I got to find something new.
Yeah,
I got to go back to school.
they're going to do that too if you're a young kid and you're one of the first employees. Man, they always do that stuff.
Again, the dishwashing days of Chi-Chi's. If something was anything that had to do with the dumpster, like, batter up, man, and you're the guy. But same thing, you're like 19 years old, and yeah, it sucked. You're all wet. Everything smells bad. Your clothes suck. The pay is crap. But
there's something about that smell of the dumpsters behind a restaurant.
It's universal, though, right?
It is, and there's a layer.
It doesn't matter if it's curry.
Of,
it doesn't matter if it's Italian. Like, you'll know that, but there's this underlying theme that says this is no doubt a dumpster.
And there's also this layer of grease.
Gray.
It like you can't see it, but when you start walking up to it, it's like 2 or 3 feet out. You're feeling your feet start to slide, and it gets real slippery. And then like everything's slick. It's almost like you're on like this weird greasy plane. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like the handles are greasy, everything's greasy. It's kind of weird.
And it could be time of year, wintertime. I'm cool with dumpsters.
Easier, sure.
Oh yeah. Summertime, no.
Nah.
Dude, Miles, you know the worst when you're driving on your hog on your scooter.
Is that a hog? Is it like a pig?
It's a hog. It's a pig.
It's
definitely not a
pig.
hog.
You know what? Why don't you let the guys that ride on 2 wheels have a conversation?
Okay, hey, you're right. I got no business. You talk about your pigs.
when you're on your hog and you're
guinea
stuck behind
hog.
a trash truck.
Oh, man, it's the worst.
Awful.
It is awful.
Do you ever get wet? Do you ever get like that spray?
Oh, no, but you feel,
No.
but it is a heaviness to the air. Like it's just, you don't want to breathe.
I don't have the CCs to pass
You
them.
breathe through your nose.
Right.
You don't want to open up your mouth. Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA. We've got more of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
What do we say about being a cop? It's a tough job. You have to deal with a lot of naked people. Peeper. A lot in this case.
All them naked peepers.
Naked peepers. We go to Indian River County. Don't you hate it when your pelvic area smells like marijuana? The story goes, particularly when the person sniffing the weed is an Indian River County Sheriff's deputy. That happens to be the situation in an incident that got the officer and two women arrested. The case began at 1:45 a.m. as a deputy saw a sport utility vehicle pull in to a closed Citgo gas station. A man was running from 41st Street into the SUV's back seat. The deputy, he stopped the SUV, and a drug-sniffing dog alerted the presence of narcotics within the vehicle. The female passenger had a strong odor of marijuana emitting from her pelvic area. The average human pelvis does not emit a smell of marijuana, just in case you're wondering if you've never been near one or any of that. Investigators arrested the woman after finding apparent marijuana residue on the passenger seat and floorboard while she was sitting. Also reported having some stuffed inside of her vaginal area.
Your vaginal area is your vagina. There's no other place to stuff something inside of.
At the jail, deputies had to pluck out a bag of marijuana from inside of her nether regions.
Is that the proper terminology for removing something from a? Is it pluck it?
They
Where's this at,
extracted. I don't know that. Vero Beach. I think this is Florida. This is Florida. Fort Pierce. She's Vero Beach. Sure. Each on a charge of possession of marijuana under 20 grams. They didn't have that much there.
No, that's one of those ones I'd have been like, you know what, we're not searching for it.
Right.
Continue on your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the end, right, she has it. The dog lets you know where it is, but right, you have to ask yourself as a cop.
Trying to think what's
it's a small amount. I'm going to have to go through all this paperwork, but in the end, I have to pluck something from her vagina.
Trying to think what strain that is. You know what I mean? Is that like,
what do you call it? The Wanda.
Willie's weed. Yeah. Why was it your worst day at work? 844-999-OLA.
The old wet Willie.
That's right.
Hello, Alex. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Doing good, man.
Good. So I've been an EMT for about 13 years, and so I've had a lot of bad days. So I thought I'd just choose one of my favorites. I used to work at St. Joe's in the ER down in Tacoma. I've been as an ER tech, and so in the whole hospital in the tower as well, there are 6 elevators that all go up and down, and 4 of them in the front for patients and family and whatnot, and then 2 in the back for staff. They're large enough to fit, a whole 2 gurneys side by side plus staff inside of them. And so one day, I get my shift. I got a 10-hour shift. I'm about 3 hours in. I got to go up to the 14th floor for some reason. So I go get in the elevator. I'm going up. About close to the top, I start kind of smelling something funky. And I can't quite place it. I'm not really getting a heavy whiff of it. So I'm like, whatever. So I get off the elevator. I go to do my thing, tooling around. And I start to kind of get weird looks, from like nurses that I've passed, patients and stuff. And I can't quite, figure out what's going on. And so I finish up and I'm heading back to the elevator, and I start to notice this trail of like footmarks. I'm like, what is that? And the door opens right when I get to it, and in the back is a squished heap of poo. and so I'm like, okay, there it is. And I look down, and not only is it on the back of my heel, squished all out on the edges and everything, but then I had taken my right foot while on the way up and scratched the back of my leg, so I brought it up on the back of my calf. And so now it reeks, and now it's undeniable.
Do you know, was it human or was it dog? I mean,
it's got to be human, right?
Whose is this?
That's what I'm getting at. I hadn't been outside. I'd only been there for 3 hours. There's no way a dog could come back in there. Not even service dogs are allowed back there. So it's definitely human. You know, whether that's like get rolled off a gurney or like maybe back there. You know?
Is that something that happens,
gurney.
man?
It rolled off a gurney,
You know,
like a perfect cylinder rolling, you know, like a toilet
Does
paper.
that actually happen?
You'd be surprised what hits the floor there, and it's you know, it all gets mopped up, but you know, when you walk around after a few years and knowing what has hit the floor in certain places, you kind of go, oh.
Like a turd will roll off of a gurney.
I guess I'm saying, like, I wonder how perfect of a turd you'd have to have, like, from a standpoint of, like, where you taper it off, where you cut it, so that it would roll so well.
Right.
Like, it has to be perfectly straight, perfectly symmetrical. You know what I mean?
Well, the hard part about it is now I go back downstairs. It's all over my shoes, you know, and they're mesh, so it's already in. So I get my shoes off, and I got no other shoes, and I can't go home, so I got to wear the patient no slip like rubbery ones on the bottom. No shoes the rest of the shift, and they weren't giving out scrubs anymore to employees. They had to buy your own. So the only ones they had were paper scrubs that were mesh as well, so everybody could see my boxers. And so I'm like, you know, pretty much showing off for the rest 7 hours of my shift. It was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I bet it was, man.
That's
Walk to the hospital with human poop on you.
Oh, my goodness. Stay tuned. Who Sucks Less is on the way. Also, what you don't need to know, the DNA edition. Our question, why was it your worst day at work?
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.